invite a business partner, but let's go ahead and get started. So again, if you have not checked in, please check in. Bleachers. We'll put together a sketch. You got your suggestion. All right. So as we get started, I want to welcome you to the Lake County Eustis chapter of 1 Million Cups. If you have not been here before, we will find you in just a minute. Don't worry about that. So we'll get into it in what 1 Million Cups is in just a second. Housekeeping, if we can. Let's make sure we keep our side conversations to a minimum. Let's turn our phones to silent or to vibrate so we don't interrupt our speaker today. We want to give our full attention to them. We are filming live on Facebook. If you have a second and you are following our Facebook page, please share the live so all of your friends have the opportunity to see what 1 Million Cups is all about. And maybe they'll join us in a couple of weeks as well. And the bathrooms, this bathroom up here to your right is not working, but we have another one. If you just go out the door, straight down the hall, there's one back there, or the one over here in the corner is open to everyone as well. Oh. All right, there we go. So we want to thank our sponsors as we do every week. We're gonna finish up with the Mega Workplace. We want to thank Lee, Monty, Ray, everybody with Lee. This was the primary initiative in 2023 for LEAD as they began working in Lake County to get the 1 Million Cups chapter up and running. We had that done in about 9 months. We're coming up this month on our 2-year anniversary. So everything that LEAD does, you're going to hear more about at the end. There's flyers in the back. They put on about 25 programs a year. They do an awesome job with everything they do. John Doremus from the SBDC is not up with us this morning, but John has a great program. It is a free service. Everybody is welcome to apply. Everybody is welcome to meet with John, go over their business model, go over their financials, and John will help get that taken care of. And then we have Brian Biedrich from the UCF Incubator. He is also downstairs. Brian is doing a great job with UCF. Brian invites everybody to meet with him. He is more than happy. And Brian, why don't you go ahead and tell him? Let's hear it directly from you.
Yeah, so anyone here, always welcome to come by the office downstairs, just find out what's going on with your business, be an accountability partner, just ask questions or see if I can connect you to UCF, to the community. We keep saying it and nobody takes me up on it, so I keep saying it. So hopefully I'll see you downstairs and doors all open.
Thank you.
So everything you need, and raise your hand if you're going to be the first one to take Brian up on his offer. No, Margaret, you don't count. All right, Margarita, you've got one. We're going to do it. But everything that you need in one building for business success is here. You're going to come to 1 Million Cups. You're going to present. You're going to overcome challenges. You're going to get suggestions to overcome challenges. You've got the SBDC that's going to help you structure your financials. You're going to have Brian that's going to help take you to the next level. Business success is all done under this roof in this building. And with that, we want to thank the Mega Workplace. This was their vision probably 2.5 years ago, maybe longer, to put all of this together. So I just want to introduce George, who is not only one of our newest city council members, but he is also him and his wife Pam are the ones that are responsible for all of this. And then George is going to also introduce our dignitaries today. So George.
Good morning. I haven't been here in a few weeks. Been away doing the family thing for the summer, but I see a lot of new faces, which is great. This building is a vision that Pam and I had, my wife, and the goal was to foster economic development, to bring collaboration together, and to unify people in business. Instead of looking at your neighbor as your competitor, look at them in the theory of when the tide rises, all boats rise. So that's what it is. We set a goal when Pam and I started this, and we said that we would see 30 entrepreneurs or business-related people a month walking through this door. We're probably averaging 250 a month. So we almost 10 times the multiple. We're coming up on 2 years of it, and we have had some really great success out of people coming forth here, helping others. people lifting themselves by helping someone else. Sometimes the power of motivation for you in your business is helping somebody else. There was a TED talk about who's the real winner in giving, and they said the receiver usually was, but it really isn't. It's really the giver. So we're here to help each other, to lift each other, to share in ideas and to move forward. And that was the vision that we had. With that, we had some help. Of course, Lake County, who helped us get UCF in here, in the UCF incubator. I know Jermaine is here. Thank you, Jermaine. And Lake County, who was a big part of bringing that together. LEAD had the overall vision for 1 million cups, who we brought here, and we're proud to have him. We have Monty here all the time with us from LEAD. And then the city itself, the city of Eustis. 2 years ago, when I started with this dream, I was just not involved in the government side, and we had the support of our vice mayor, who's here today, Gary Ashcraft, and we thank him for his support, for his votes to help keep the UCF incubator here in Lake County and helping other businesses as well. I also see in the unification something that you don't normally see. As business people, we know no boundaries. Our customers don't stop. If you take, for example, Eustis, they don't stop at 441. They go across to Tavares. They cross borders everywhere. And there was a feeling of individual competitive municipalities, and we don't foster that. We believe our customers are everywhere, whether they're in Claremont, whether they're not around or whatever, and we're breaking walls down for that. Today, I'm lucky to see Stephanie here from the Tavares Chamber of Commerce, Leesburg Chamber of Commerce, Joe, is that?
Yeah.
Joe, okay, I'm sorry. And of course, our own Marie Alberti. So we have 3 chambers of commerce represented here. And I've never seen that in an event come together. So they're all here for you. They're all here to help. They're all here to build us and carry us forward. So I'm thankful for that. And I see also from the office of the State of Florida Office of CFO in the back, hiding back there, Zane. So it's a great feeling. You're part of a great thing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the people to your right, people to your left. And let's build us all together and lift the ship with the tide all together. So thank you.
Thank you, George. And and with that, like we said, everything you need for business success is under one roof, except one thing. We always think that the last step or a step in the process is to join a local chamber. We'll get to what we do here. We're not networking here. We're making organic connections, but your step, one of the steps in your success is joining a local chamber or multiple chambers. So make those connections, meet your chamber presidents, become part of those groups, and again, between those the five that you have between the screen and the chambers, you have nothing but success to look forward to. So we want to thank our sponsors. Every week, if you have not been here and if you have forgotten, our coffee and food is sponsored. We get no funding. We don't get a budget from 1 Million Cup to say, hey, go spend $100 a week on food and coffee. This is all sponsored. So for 2 years, Foxtail Coffee has been our coffee sponsor, and they will be ongoing. So every week, I would like to recommend, if you make a connection here, if you have a business meeting, whether you make it here or not, visit a Foxtail Coffee, thank them for everything that they've done for 2 years to sponsor the coffee and be part of the program. And then we also want to thank the Golden Triangle Toastmasters group for being our food sponsor. Stephanie, Stephanie brings a crew in to put this spread on. And if you notice when you got here, don't even think about sitting in the first 2 tables because they're all reserved. So, but thank you for everything that you do. I think every week, the bar's getting a little bit higher for everybody. But thank you for everything that you guys have done for us. So, what is 1 Million Cups? And before we kind of go into that a little bit, along with not getting a budget for food and coffee and all of that, everybody that helps put this together each week is all volunteers. Like George said, I think in life, we are called to give back When you give back, you will get back. The winner when giving back is going to be both sides, but I think it's more, I personally think it's more for yourself. You help somebody. I think it's just a great thing to do. So I want to introduce and have all of our organizers stand up because they're the ones that put this together every week. So let's thank them for everything that they do. So to our organizers, we sincerely thank you for all of your help. But 1 million cups. I love the slogan. I wish we had thought of this, but we didn't. But it's for the community, by the community. It's the community coming out. Like George said, we're not competition. We are business partners. But for the community, by the community. It's a hub or a home for business entrepreneurs in Lake County. If you're in North Lake, we want to see you in here. If you're in South Lake, we want to see you in Claremont, who is one of our, almost like one of our co-chapters. So we like to support them as well as they support us. There's now 110 chapters of 1 Million Cups across the country. So if you're traveling, they all meet every Wednesday about the same time. You know, we're a little bit early. Most of them are about 9 a.m. But if you're traveling, look up, see if there's one where you're going to. Again, every week, everything is provided for you. Show up. It's all going to be given to you. It will never cost you anything to attend a meeting. Eat as much as you want. Take some food home if there's leftovers. We want you to be in a safe space. We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to give back. We want this to be something that you put on your calendar every single Wednesday. And then if you're an entrepreneur or you're there to support them, this is just where you want to be. So further, what is 1 Million Cups? It is presentations and not pitches. We kind of go through this a little bit every week. We're not here, and I was talking to our presenter today that we review the presentations because this is not going to be a sales pitch. I'll be straightforward with that. We are not here to sell things. We are not here to ask direct referrals. This is not for funding or fundraising. They're presenting a challenge in their business they need your help with. And at the same time, we ask everybody that attends, while we appreciate it, we ask you not to do a direct sale of your product, but you can make a suggestion for that. We want this to be a comfortable, safe space where you can come in and not feel like you're going to be sold to. And then at the same time, we're here to make connections. Long-term connections will turn into long-term business relationships. Networking, there are great networking opportunities. We have 3 chamber presidents. We have Todd Headley from the local BNI. BNI is a great networking. There are wonderful networking opportunities out there. Talk to them. Here we want to make networking, and we just ask that you don't try to sell yourself or your product here. You've got opportunities for that with them. Here we're going to make organic connections and comfortable connections. So, who is new? Brandy, Greg, you ready? If you are new or a first timer, please stand up. Don't be shy. So, we are going to ask you 2 things. Again, with the networking, we're not going to ask you what you do, who your customer is, who you're looking for. We want your name and your business name. So if I was going to start off, I would be Jim Green with 1 Million Cups. Go ahead.
Michelle Farmer, Feast Deli.
Perfect.
Jessie LaFave, Harmonic Balance Healing Arts.
Thank you. In the back. Go ahead.
Penny Costanzo, PLC Wildlife Photos.
Thank you. Mark.
Mark Hagan with My Forever Home.
You have 2.
Michelle Brown, Episcopal Children's Services.
Thank you. And then lastly.
Carmen Masheri with Re-Envision Alignment Solutions.
All right. Let's thank them all for being here today. I think you're going to like what we do and what 1 Million Cups is all about. One thing I want to mention before I forget. One of the things we like to do is we like to give back and just say thank you for being here every week. So next week, bring a friend because this is like one of the most important things you can do for your business. But next week's meeting is for you. You're not going to help the presenter. The presenter's going to help you. Our very own Wendy Taylor, who is my co-partner in running the meetings each and every week. Wendy's one of the best marketing people you will ever want to meet. She is going to do it. She's not going to here to sell you her product or to work with her, but she's going to be here to help present on how to improve and increase your Google presence. Google is, and Matthew will tell you too. Matthew, wherever you're at, there he is, right there. Matthew will tell you that Google, outside of Facebook, outside of Instagram, outside of LinkedIn, Google is probably the most important social media online program that you can be part of and get recognized. So Wendy's going to be here next week to present to you to help you in your business on how to improve your Google presence. I'm going to ask you one question. Who knew that you could just post a regular post on Google? All right, let me go the opposite. Who did not know that you could do that? I didn't either until Matthew taught me that. I didn't know you could do a regular post on Google. So she's going to be here. There's empty seats. Let's fill them all next week, and let's get a great turnout. Bring a business partner, someone that you work with, to help show them, look, this is what I want to do to you, for you as a business partner and a partner that I work with in business. And I promise you, that's going to separate you from your competition. So, who is eligible to present at 1 Million Cups? So, if you have a business idea, if you have a concept, if you're just sitting around, you're talking with friends, kind of, this would be a great idea. But is Lake County ready for it? Can we take it, internationally? Or can we expand it throughout the country? We want you presenting that thought, that concept right here to get the feedback from, we probably have 60 people in the room today. You've got 60 successful people in the room that's going to say, I think it's a great idea, maybe it's not ready yet. But you're going to get the feedback that you need to take that concept to the next level. 1 Million Cups was really designed for those newer businesses 1 to 5 years. The success rate in the first 5 years is, it grows a little bit more each year. But it's that first 5 years where you really start to see whether success will happen or not. We want those businesses presenting. You're going to present a challenge that we talk about next, what keeps you up at night challenge. And this will help you overcome those challenges. You're going to come back every 6 months. You're going to update us on the previous challenge and the suggestions and how you got past that challenge. You're going to present us with a new challenge. Over that time, you have the opportunity to present up to 10 times to overcome every challenge. If you hit that 5+ year time span in your business, the success rate is going to be 80-90%. You're well on your way to a long-term business success. And every time you present, you've got professionals that I promise you have been through the same challenges that you have that will help give you suggestions. And then if you're an established business, we want to help established businesses as well. One of the hardest things you can do as an established business is growth. If you grow your business the wrong way, it can be very detrimental to the entire business, not just the part that you're growing to or trying to grow. It can also affect the current business as well. So again, you've got a room full of successful business people that will show you and help you and give you suggestions on how to successfully grow your business to become bigger and better. So, our format, each and every week. If you're interested in presenting, you're going to go online, you're going to sign up that you would like to present. Go online to our 1 Million Cups Lake County chapter, just click the present tab, fill that out. Monty and I are going to review that, and we're going to get you settled in. So what we're going to have, our presenter today is Philip Kelsey. He's going to do a 6-minute presentation. You're going to do a 6-minute presentation. Does it sound like a long time? Doesn't sound like a long time. 6 minutes is a good spot. We're not going to cut you off. Phil, if you go to 7, we're not cutting you off at 6. But we want to try to keep that within 6 so we can get you the best and most feedback we can. And then we're going to do about 20 to 24 minutes of feedback depending upon how many presenters we have. So you're going to get 20 minutes of feedback to help overcome that challenge that is keeping you up each and every night. How do I get past this? We're going to give you some suggestions on how to do that. So when we get to the feedback, we want to get as many as we can. Just try to keep them to the point. Let's not take 2 or 3 minutes to give our thoughts. If it's a long thought, meet with Phil afterwards. We're going to stay here. They never want to take the food back. Stay here, eat afterwards. But let's welcome our speaker, Phil Kelsey, to the front. Keep it going. He's not here yet. Keep it going.
Well, hello everyone. Can anybody hear me back there? Last time I did this, I didn't understand the microphone very well, but everybody can hear me in the back, right? So I had this practice for 6 minutes, and when I first started this, it did carry over, and I should be able to keep this to 6 minutes. And I do appreciate everybody coming out. It's a great looking group. I'll tell you, the preamble doesn't count in 6 minutes, but it's a very organized group, a very nice looking facility, and I think that this will be successful. So again, my name is Phil Kelsey, and my product is called LifeLog. And basically, LifeLog. No, 1 second. Okay, so my product is called LifeLog, and this is a journaling app that incorporates artificial intelligence. And basically what you do is that you speak in your daily events, such as what you ate, how you feel, how you exercise, etc. And the app will summarize what you said and assign a category and then save that to your device. And that's done so that you can subsequently ask a question of AI, ChatGPT, whatever you're using, with a lot more context now. So perhaps I might ask, how can I lose weight? Or how can I lower my cholesterol? And now I can ask that question with a lot more context, with say 6 months worth of diet and exercise history that I could chip off and inject into ChatGPT to start the dialogue. And, oops, went too far. And this kind of hit a need that I found, that the AIs, ChatGPT, so they've improved a lot, but they don't really have the memory associated with what I wanted. I found when I was kind of having to come back and reset up the conversation. Even so, I don't think I want to save that much data into one of the AIs, so I keep it separate. So then I can use multiple AIs to ask the same question if I choose to. So that's the app. Now here comes the little more dry part of the presentation, and this is where I discuss how I navigate the overall the daily or the business decisions. And so I call this my innovation counting, which is a phrase that's been coined. So I'm coming to my first current objective in key results, and that is I'm doing a market interest study. And the objective of that is to do a cheap, inexpensive ad campaign for the purpose of generating these early actionable metrics that can guide me, for purposes of not spending a lot of time or being most efficient in those early months. And so to describe my MVP, how to approach this, the app, I've completely stripped off all cloud access so that the user's data at this point is saved exclusively to the device. And I've made the app completely free, so there's absolutely no onboarding, no account to create. It's pretty much plug and play. And I've split this experiment up into 2 cohorts. The first month is the Android cohort, the second month being the iPhone cohort. And that allows me to kind of create a bench line and compare across the two to look for improvement. And with that, I have set up a very inexpensive $5 a day budget for advertising. But interestingly, that buys me about, I have 20,000 there. I think it's going to be quite a bit more by month in impressions. And to do so, though, I've had to go outside the United States. But that's fine, because I'm just looking for some early metrics. And so my first experiment that I've done is I call it a smoke test. And basically, I want to find out, is anybody even interested in this type of app, this concept? And so I've had really good results. So my metrics first is my click-through rate, and that is of the impressions I have, the times that people see the app appear anywhere on their screen or whatever medium they're using. I'm getting upwards of about, I was shooting for 1%, I'm actually getting a whopping 20%, which is encouraging. And then beyond that too, so that's the people who see the ad and actually go on to click on the ad. Now, the next metric I've gathered is called the conversion rate, and even that is encouraging because I'm receiving about 5%. The range, that's about average for the range. It would have been great to get 10%, but I can tell you, I've been in such a rush to get to market to get these early answers. My page and my ads are subpar, to say the least. So they need improvement. So I'm actually happy to get these results. And this brings me to a really inexpensive 1 cent per click and 3 cents per install. Now, bear in mind, that's a foreign market. Most of these are occurring in India and Vietnam. In the United States or a more developed market, it's going to be more expensive. But those results I'm finding so far. Unfortunately, the next test I did is not as encouraging, but I was really prepared for this. Again, it's been a real rush app. And this is what I call engagement. And what I've done, I've set up a tool called AdMob. If you may be familiar with AdSense on the websites, where you see banner ads along the bottom of your phone and full page ads pop up from time to time. And I've used that. It's really a revenue generating tool, but just to save time, I've sought to use it for more like a feedback to really test the engagement of how involved or engaged the user is in the app. And this hasn't given me quite the results that I want. And part is because AdMob's really not the right tool, and it's part because it's an early app. But with that, I'm afraid that's an older slide deck, but that's okay. With that, I have made the decision to pause the ad campaign, which is what I was prepared to do. And so my ads aren't showing now, and the plan is to kind of double back, and first thing I'll do is install what's called a more appropriate tool, what's called Google Analytics, and give me more meaningful feedback on how engaged the user is. And I'm not sure if this is a new slide or not. No, it's not. Can we click here? Oops, now I'm lost. This doesn't count in the 6 months, by the way. This is the technical thing. So stop your timers.
I think mine's like that.
Okay. So you can press, click. So this takes me to the Ask Challenge page that is the meat and potatoes of coming and presenting to 1 Million Cups. And so I'm getting a lot of feedback on the UI, UX, and the customer experience from the various chapters I presented at, which has been great because I think to my next task is to increase engagement, and I see the app as being comments I've had is it's a little bit complicated, so I'm looking at ways to improve the UI, UX, starting an onboarding process where initially it tours people through the app and shows them how to do it. I'm thinking of ways how to condense down what you have to do to get to the various tools without compromising functionality. And the video too is a little bit choppy. It's great for 1 Million Cups, but I'm going to improve that so that will be on my store page, but probably not with an ad. Definitely won't say test ad on it, and that'll be improved to try to improve the conversion rate. So that's where I'm at right now. I do have the watch on there. I wrote that the other night. It's not part of the release right now, but I think it'll add a lot of functionality. So that's my presentation, and I very much appreciate everybody coming out, and I look forward to your questions and comments.
Alright, stay up here. So if you had to go with, right now, what is your primary challenge?
The engagement, the customer engagement.
Okay, so thoughts on primary on getting engagement, or other thoughts on how he can get recognition, education, different things out to the market?
Michael Dufort, Hood Home Loans. Is your goal with this to be a fitness tracker app, tracking calories and helping people to lose weight? Is that the overall purpose of this, just using AI to do that?
That you're asking who my target market is.
Yes.
I mean, that was my original intent. It's not limited to that. It's a good way to market. I think that has a lot more utility. I see it largely as an add-on to the AI tools that are out right now, but I'm presenting it as a health and exercise app.
If that's the case, I use 5 of those apps. I've used a bunch myself. Adding a way to show the calories and your goals would be definitely helpful. And then the groups you're looking for, if you're trying to continue that path, is go to gyms, maybe even high schools or local colleges, to talk to athletes and people who would be constantly monitoring their calories, how much exercise they're doing, and their food intake, because that's the main group you want to get to.
Thanks. That's a good point.
All right, we're gonna go Matthew, we're gonna Arlene, and then we're gonna go to Todd.
All right, good morning. My name is Matthew Guy, Pinpoint Web Studio. So, first, let me ask you a question. You said you ran an ad campaign already. What kind of ad campaign did you run? Where did you run it?
Google Ads.
Google Ads. Okay.
Google Ads apps. Excuse me.
Gotcha. So, I believe that with something as specific as this, your early adopters are going to be mostly those that are already doing this, utilizing AI. So, for example, someone like myself who, I'll be honest, I don't really use a search engine search or Google search much for things that I want answers to anymore. I go straight to ChatGPT and I ask, hey, I'm looking for something like this, and it gives me, results from all the different search engines, etc., etc. But something I commonly find is that chat will recommend varying apps or softwares or things to solve a particular problem I'm having. So if you can tailor and basically make it to where your app is recommended by things like Chat or Claude, and think of the other AIs as a recommended solution when people ask about, I want to track my wellness, I want to track my health, I want to track my this. So I did kind of do a little bit of what needs to be done with that. It's a lot. So apparently AI has a specific checklist of criteria that it looks for, mostly in compliance, but essentially I'll happily meet with you after this and show you what I've found so far. But I think if AI can promote you and say that your AI is the AI for that solution, then those early adopters that are already utilizing it will probably stick with you faster.
That's a good point. Good idea. Thank you.
And then we're going to Todd.
Hi, Arlene, Happy Hippie Customs. I'm a little bit lost on if that's your only function. Like, you said it's kind of an add-on, but what you're showing is like, I ate an apple, I ate a bowl of oatmeal. If you're tracking like fitness and health, wouldn't you need, I ate half a cup of oatmeal of this brand, I cooked it this way, I put this many pecans in it. Because just to say, like, I think one of them was I ate a cheese omelet. Was it 2 eggs? I've done and none of them that I've ever used are that vague.
Good point.
So if you're going to put it out as that kind of tracker, I would make sure it's specific. Because the people that want to track those things, like he said, they want to know calories. They want to know how many did I burn, how many did I eat, how many can I have today, that kind of thing. If it's just a log, that's different. But if you're looking for like trackers specifically, I think it needs to be more specific.
Yeah.
Good morning, Todd Henley, neighbors of Lake Eustis. So, I think from watching this presentation and then listening to you, there's two different things. Because everybody that watched that presentation thinks you're trying to reinvent Fitbit. And from listening to you, what I understand is you're trying to create something where it logs my whole day, whether I had an argument with a toddler, or I sat and watched TV, or I walked, or I did anything. And if I build up enough of, here is everything I did today, not just food, but everything, then if I have a question for ChatGPT or Claude or another AI, I can dump my whole month's worth of activity into it, and it will have a more accurate thing for me. Is that
Exactly. Yes. That's
Okay,
correct.
so then your presentation isn't aligned with what you're trying to get us to see. Because all anybody saw was I ate a cheese omelet, and then we go down that rabbit hole. So I would redo that part to try to get it more. And I mean, honestly, the fitness space is so crowded. As he said, there's 5 tracker apps. So I would lean more to the not daily journal, but like that kind of side, and to track what you did so it has better data on you.
Right, and that's exactly what this is an MVP, and unfortunately the videos very quickly put together also, but those are good points to make the video more. But kind of the envision is to have first the next thing, it won't be a cloud access, and it'll be a website, and I want to create, is anybody familiar with Connect? Maybe not, but kind of that model where it turns into a social media platform where you can create tokens and share your data by category, by a specific time with other people, either professionals or family or whoever you choose to share it with. So that's kind of the vision I have. I'm very aware that the fitness space is very full, so I'm not trying to go head to head with them. But I will say, though, that I do have 2,000, in 2 weeks I got 2,000 installs. So I think the concept is attractive to people. I just got to get the app in shape so that they continue to see it as valuable.
Here. Charles Griffin, Crescent Technologies. What I saw here was more of a wellness tracker than a fitness tracker. You might want to consider that kind of marketing, but you also, this to me could be anything. I mean, you're right. I mean, you could make this into any kind of tracking, what about my life kind of thing. As someone who participated in a failed business that tried to be everything to everyone, I would suggest if you have these different markets, you treat them as different products, even if it's the same product under the cover. Call them different things. Market them separately, rather than trying to say this will do everything.
So you would have multiple store pages on multiple apps on multiple store pages.
Right, that focus on what somebody can understand quickly, because everybody has ADHD.
It's good advice. Thank you.
So whenever I seen the LifeLog and then your presentation started, I immediately went to my head and said, oh, I can track like what I've done for, like later I'm going to be able to print a book of my life or my, we forget so many things. So that's kind of where I thought you were going, and then you went to the fitness tracker. So I'm with him on, I was more interested in like, oh, I can just say, hey, this is what I did today, this is how I felt, this is, who I met, so on and so forth. Then it brings it into a note, and then later if I wanted to say, well, could you write me a book on what happened last month in my life? And then another thing was I tried chat for a diet, and I noticed even putting in, I had a half cup of this, so on and so forth, that it wasn't accurate. And I figured it out about 2 weeks into it, and then I just said, okay, I'm done. I don't even know where it was wrong. I just know it went wrong on this one item, so I gave up. So.
Good point. I got a question.
Margarita, and then Greg, and then we're going to go to Dave.
Okay, so I have one question. Margarita from Charlotte Innovative, and then I have a suggestion. So my question is, when they're on your application, are they able to talk to it and it writes it out, or do they have to text it out?
No, it's speech to text.
Okay. So the idea that I was thinking was, I also have background in medicine. So if it's diabetics, if someone's going through cancer, if it's certain things that it's harder for them, they're able to talk, and even it can help doctors be able to have a more accurate log of their patients and what they're doing. Like, hey, this is my blood pressure. I got stressed and my blood pressure went up, so it's an emotional blood pressure versus, hey, I woke up with a high blood pressure, and then things are, documented in error. You have high blood pressure versus you're having a bad day, stressed, and your pressure went up. So I would say urgent cares. That's a quick place if there's somewhere where they could have, hey, this is a free log for this. Cardiology offices, things like that, that you're saying, hey, I have this free app that could help your clients track and give you better information. And if you have the doctors on board or something like that, then you kind of have a funnel where they could suggest that to their patients, like, hey, are you having trouble logging? Here's an app that we could use, and you could give me the feedback and clear.
Good advice, thank you.
All right, we're gonna go to Greg, then we're gonna go to David, then we're gonna go to Monty, and then we're gonna go to me. Greg.
So I'm a little lost here. So this is more of a log app, and then is there a solution that AI is going to give, or is it going to just give you a summary of your day, or by the month or what have you? I'm not understanding what the solution is for utilizing this product.
Sure.
Well, again, this is an add-on, I suppose, to your favorite AI, be it ChatGPT, Grok, or whatever. And it's not, I can have it return AI. That gets a little bit expensive. I'd have to charge for that. To be able to have the free app, I inject it off to the apps, ChatGPT app, Grok app, etc. So it's really, once it's passed off, it's just like you're having a conversation with the AI. It just added the context, so it library or stored the context, the history that you wanted to have in these conversations. Does that answer your question?
Not really, but let me ask. Maybe I can understand this way. So I use Gemini, and I have the version where I can log in and everything, and I can have that subject matter going. So if I did my daily log of what I did, at the end of the day, I can say, "Hey Gemini, summarize how my day was," right? And it tells me. But I'm not understanding what is the solution that I'm looking for with your product? It's like, what is the log supposed to do for me at the end of the day?
Well, it's a question of convenience. I mean, the log, if you chose to, you could open up an Excel spreadsheet and write down every event that you have, and you could assign a category to it manually. This is a matter of convenience. So if you find it more convenient to open up Gemini and speak your events in, or into assign a category, then that would be what I'd be competing against. But my app is a convenience to where you can pull out your phone and start speaking, and it summarizes it for you and assigns the category, or in the future to be able to tap your smartphone. So I think it's a convenience log, but certainly there are many ways to solve a solution these days. And
so would I be able to use that as so it's a convenience log, so it logs in all my information. It's very easy to use as a utility tool. But then at the end of the day, I can choose what AI to implement into to give me. If I can ask the same prompt for something in Gemini or ChatGPT, and they can be, depending on how it's set up, they can give me a different result. So I was just wondering if. So does your app have that ability to be able to plug into different AI?
Well, it uses the sharing libraries for your Android or iPhone. So whatever app you share with, whether that be Gemini, ChatGPT, or email, or text document, it's going to share. Now, Gemini would be great use that way, but then you're limited to one AI. And I don't think that you have that good pipeline between, well, I want to get a second opinion from ChatGPT if I can enter all my information into Gemini. So again, I'm getting a one-stop convenience place to be able to log in.
Yours is able to do that, go into different AI.
Provided you have the share set up on your phone. If you don't have the app installed on your phone, then you would have to share it with a text file and then.
Gotcha. Okay, so that would be the benefit of your product.
Right. You'd be able to select a category. You'd be able to ask a question. It tries to remember what categories are relevant to that question, like how do I lose weight? So I recall that I should be putting exercise, diet, and other categories in there, and just ship off that specific set of data related to those categories, and ship that off to the app that you want to get.
All right, we got about 4 minutes left. David.
It sounds like when you said you were getting really cheap clicks and downloads, it sounds like you're comparing that to the U.S. market. Yeah, I was just saying that even the prices that you're seeing on conversions there, it's still pretty expensive, because here in America it is a lot more expensive, but you can do like, if you're spending dollars on, trying to get followers on Facebook or something like that, you're gonna get them for fractions of pennies. And so the clicks are even more fractionized than that. So it sounds like you're still having a messaging problem on the front end, where the person looking at your ad isn't understanding exactly what they're clicking on, and then when they come to the landing page to go to download the app, that messaging isn't quite so clear to when they get onto the app. They're not engaging with it because they don't know what they were originally intending to sign up for.
How would you improve that?
It would be all front end stuff.
I know that
I haven't seen your ad or the landing page that describes your ad.
you know, the ad is pretty much constructed by, of course, Google, but I will tell you, my store page is substandard. Again, I'm going to rush to market. That's my strategy. In my life, I've built things expecting them to come, and then nobody shows up. So this is flopped around. This is going to try to get a limited amount of investment and see if anybody engage the interest. So I admit my store page is substandard, but I think that it could have been the other way. It could have been had no clicks whatsoever, so it would tell me no one's interested in this concept.
Definitely.
So
Definitely. I mean, unless there's like some crosshairs of like what the messaging they're expecting to get, and then when they get to the page, they're like, "Oh, this isn't what I thought it was."
oh, definitely. I think that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing to add on to it. I mean, I'd be happy to talk further, but it sounds like that's the issue. But then also, you're talking about convenience. Is there a possibility you can make it even more convenient by connecting this app with APIs of other apps? Like, I'm already using MyFitnessPal, I'm already using Facebook or whatever other journaling apps. Could all of those feed into your app and then be able to document all the information?
Well, absolutely. And of course, again, this is an MVP. Bare minimum just to get it up on a store and get some feedback. But absolutely great suggestions. There's a whole myriad of functionality to add to it, I think, that would attract people. But testing first to make sure that people actually want it without diving in and putting a lot of work into something that doesn't really come out to what they want. But all those are really great suggestions. Thank you very much.
All right, so we're gonna go, I've got something here in a minute, Monty, and then we're gonna finish up with Wendy. So, talking about convenience and different things, and I know I've done some of these in the past, and to me, the thing, when you have to input, like Arlene said, how many of this, everybody's done it in about a week, because it's like, how much did I do this? But what if became like the Travelocity for all of these? So depending on, you go to a gym, and the treadmills read what you did. Maybe if you just take a picture at the end, I was on the treadmill 45 minutes, I did 5 miles at this pace, this many calories. It just takes a picture and reads it. You could partner with, there's like a food program called Yucca. It scans a ton of foods and tells you what's healthy, what's not, what's good, what's bad. And that way, from an overall nutritional health standpoint, you're incorporating exercise and food, where people can see, hey, today you took in too many calories, too many fat calories, too many of this. You didn't burn enough calories, and that way you take in the different 5 different fit apps that are available, and they all read into one, and you maybe work with them, and then by getting those is where you start getting the clicks to say, hey, I'm going to take it in, I'm going to incorporate everything, and that's where maybe people start buying ads. Just a thought. Monty.
Good point, thanks.
Yeah, I've got several notes here, but people keep having good thoughts as well, I guess. I would say now that we're on the wave of AI, that you could kind of spin this as like technology training, custom AI training, because since you're able to be synchronous with the different apps that we're using, and you can fit different niches, doctors and KPIs and any workforce situation or just daily life, if you're able to kind of spin this as technology training, I'm here to help you learn how to best use AI for free, and this is where you store your life. People, this is how you actually use technology. This, you could get in at a very early age where people are just trying to be more efficient, but don't know where to go technologically, and you could have that one storehouse, and then, kind of that be the backbone.
Communicate that to identify your target market. The one challenge for me is to segment down and target that, because right now my target market embarrassingly, is all English speakers that have Androids, which is not super good, but
Yeah, I think we had a good idea that it's different for each different market, that you're so widely applicable that the messaging can change, and you can kind of cheaply do that. I would say, as far as custom AI training, I mean, you just kind of jump in the Coursera space, copy a lot of the language that they're using, but then just don't charge. Or, talk with local schools. People are really hot and heavy trying to learn how to best embed this into courseware on the college system, on the public school system, in the workplace. And so if there's an easy way for you to get ahead of the curve, I would say, yeah, think more about that. I don't have the perfect answer for you on messaging right now, but just a thought.
All right, ready to finish this up?
Okay,
Thanks.
you've got a lot of great advice today, and I noticed a common theme. You said that you wanted to be quick to market. I think at this time, you need to quiet your mind and then go back and change your landing page so it's more clear. Decide what you want, make it more clear. You already pushed it to market. Now it's time to refine because you got advice. You know that they're not continuing with the program because it's unclear of what you're giving them.
great point. Yeah, thanks. That's a good point. And that is a strategy. That's why I put on hold. Again, I consider the campaign a success because I got what I want to know that first metric, the click-through rate. Is anybody even interested in this stuff? and if they had said no, okay, let's save a lot of time. Move to something else. But good point. So now it's revamping the message, revamping the ad.
All right, let's thank Phil for presenting today. Thank you, Phil. Please, I saw a couple hands. I know Matthew had something, Margarita, you had something. Please stay after David. Talk to him a little bit more on your thoughts. Stay here as long as you need to. But let's finish up those thoughts. If you do need to leave, we want to respect your time. We understand that, so please do. But again, thank you, Phil. And if you want to present, now you know what the process is. So thank you again. All right, we're going to finish up with, I think, if we can get there, community announcements. So if you have an upcoming event in the next 7 days, if you have an event coming up in the next year, put a flyer on the back table. We're happy to promote those programs for you. We do ask that they generally be free because, again, we don't want to promote any paid events, but if you have a free event coming up and anything in the next 7 days, who has something coming up? Delaney.
All right. I don't know if any of you are familiar with United in Praise, which we had many moons ago. They are no longer. However, a new praise and worship choir is forming, and we are kicking it off Monday, September 8th, which is this coming Monday at 7 p.m. at Grand Island Baptist Church, where it won't stay there, but it'll be a community choir, so it'll be involving anybody and everybody. Come see me if you want a QR code for more info.
Perfect.
All right, Matthew Guy, 10-Point Web Studio again. So Golden Triangle BNI chapter, that's the local one that Jim mentioned before. So we have our live meetings the first Thursday of every single month in this exact room. So tomorrow morning from 7:30 to 9 is our meeting. You can get here at 7 a.m. for open networking. We will be here.
So I'm going to follow.
Registration is required. You have to see me, Delaney, Todd, one of us.
I'm going to follow up on that. I was part of BNI for over 17 years, maybe longer. One of the best networking organizations you can be part of. Joanne.
All right, good morning. I have 2 events coming up this Thursday, September 4th at noon. On Thursday, we have our Young Professionals Luncheon. That's for anyone under 40 or pretending to be under 40. We don't card. It's at Luna Azul at noon in Leesburg. Also, that same evening, we have a business after hours for the chamber with UF Health. They're going to do a heart-themed event at the Venetian Center, and that's going to run 5:30 to 7 on Thursday. Thanks.
Good morning. I am announcing for Nikki here from Whimsy Market. Fresh Market at Farron will be next Wednesday, September 10th from 5 to 8 p.m. And we are super excited to announce that we will have a new produce vendor who will have a 10 by 20 space packed full of produce.
Brian.
Hey, I have 2 also. One is not an event, but opportunity.
Just got an email. There are several grants that just got released. There's one for women-owned businesses. There's one for retail shops. One for community heroes, I think they call it. But come see me if you fit any of those categories or just want to know more about it. I can send you the information. And then I'm going to put in a plug for SBDC. It's not next week, but it's 25th. They're doing budgeting for small business success. A bunch of flyers over there.
Golden Triangle Toastmasters, Monday the 8th, we're back. It's at 5:30 at the Eustace Chamber.
So let me put in one plug for SBDC and lead. If you have an event, scan it there, put it on their calendar. It's going to be on their calendar. I talked to several people, and SBDC did their like statewide event. Was it last weekend or 2 weeks ago in Tampa? I've heard so many people say that was the single best event they've been to in their career. So they've done an amazing job. We've got an amazing group of SBDC members with John downstairs. We've got Jose over in Claremont. So it is free. It is a free service. Take advantage of it. Pam.
Good morning, everyone. Pam with Lake Eustace Area Chamber of Commerce, and coming up this September 19th and 20th, we will be having the Home and Garden Expo. So if you have a business that caters to a home, a garden, you may want to talk to Marie about signing up your business, or just feel free to come out and support your local businesses and find out some new information. Thank you. So that's September 19th and 20th.
If you have not met Pam, and is George still in the room? Pam is the brains behind all of this. We love George. Pam is the other half. Pam is the brains. We love you guys, but this is the Pam that George was talking about if you have not met. So thank you for everything that you did. You weren't here in the morning. Go ahead. Oh. Wendy. All right, we'll go Wendy, and then we're going to go in the back.
Wendy Sloan with Leesburg Toastmasters. We meet on Tuesday mornings at 9 o'clock. The meeting starts at 9:15 and it's for an hour. We're meeting at the Leesburg Chamber of Commerce right now. We are looking for a new spot come shortly because we're having like 17 people or more come now.
Go ahead.
Yes, Stephanie with the Tavares Chamber. Actually, we are having our first Take the Lead breakfast with the Magical Meat Boutique, who just took over the old Barnwood. So that will be on the 11th. We also have a networking luncheon coming up at BTW on the 16th this month. And also kind of prepare, we are going to be having a Roaring 20s theme for our gala this year at Mission Inn on October 10th. So mark your calendars.
All right, Monty, what's Lee got going on?
I'm bringing a witness up here today. Yeah, a witness. Margarita is a graduate of our Fast Track program, so I'm going to ask her to share her experience.
Well, I started Fast Track. Oh, sorry. Hello, everybody. So I had the privilege of starting Fast Track and be able to actually communicate with professionals in the area. What I loved about Fast Track was that every time that there was a presentation, there was someone from the community that really educated us and we were able to ask questions, which is like having a master class every single time. So, great thing, it's free. But the Kaufman community is who sponsors it. So I would say take advantage of learning and allowing your business to grow. At the time, I was helping a landscaping and pressure washing company, which they've been able to double what they have done by implementing what you've learned. So the important thing is to implement what they're teaching you, not just come to the class, as well as create relationships. And as I said last week, that's why I also met Sofacta, who's helped us increase our business through AI. So it's not just about the education, it's about having a relationship with your classmates as well.
Thank you. Enough said.
All right, thank you. Marie.
Yes. First Fridays, this Friday night, again, those of you that have not participated before, they shut the streets down, and the Lake Eustace Area Chamber of Commerce, we have a booth there. Please come stop in and see us and find out what's going on in the city and our community, and also we will be there to answer any questions about the Home and Garden show this month. Thank you.
Jermaine.
Shaping Lake County.
After you click on this link, it will take you to the comes web page. You can enter your email information and ask direct questions about the future of Lake County.
All right, and I think that's a great thing that the county is doing. You know, everybody has their thoughts. Now you get an opportunity to share those. Yeah, just a couple of things I want to talk about. Like B&I, I've been part of. Great organization. Toastmasters, I was part of. Great organization. You know, just meet these people, visit their programs, expand your potential for business success, because all of these will help with your business success. Fast Track, you know, another coffin program. It's all there, everything that you need to be successful. To stay connected, just scan that. You're going to get the lead. You're going to get everything that you need to know. And if you have not followed our Facebook page, please do so. And then I think that's it. We have more chairs. We have more chairs that open up. So that means everybody's got to bring 2 people next week. Again, remember, next week is for you. It is to increase your Google presence. Bring a coworker, someone that you wanted to work with that you have not worked with yet. Show them that you value that relationship and how you want to help not only increase your business but theirs. So we'll see you next week, and thank you for coming.
Please gather under the TV for pictures. TV where the presenters were.